Hello, this is Bob Joyner, and this is part 2 of Trading Psychology, How to Stop the Self-Sabotage. So if you have not watched part 1, I'll place a link in the description box and at the end of this video so you can go back and watch that one. But let's go ahead and move forward with video 2. In the first one, just to give you a quick review, we talked about how automatic responses can occur in certain trading situations and that the consequences of those trading decisions can create emotions that are not favorable to trading. And the question is, of course, how do we stop that vicious cycle of doing the wrong things while we're trading, making the wrong decisions, and suffering those consequences that we do? So there is hope for us as traders, so this is what this video is about. Self-sabotage, just to get a definition out there, is the act of doing something against yourself. The act of ruining your chances for success, the conscious or often unconscious effort to ensure your own failure. We have to examine our automated responses and discover what's behind them. So often what happens is a situation creates a certain automatic response. We're not even aware of the automatic response. We're not even aware of the beliefs, the biases, the repercussions of some of those things, and we just take them as is, and that can create a false opinion about our abilities as traders and make us feel like we're stuck in a rut that we cannot get out of. So this video is, the idea here is to give you some resources, give you some tools to help you find a way out of that, and to encourage you, because it doesn't have to take a real long time for you to change using these resources. To fix the problem of those automatic responses that do not align with our values, that do not ensure our success, and that instead actually create self-sabotage for us, to break that, we've got to interrupt the current automatic responses and build a new pathway in our brain. And I talked about a lot of that, about neuroplasticity, plasticity of the brain, that sort of thing, in the previous video. So let's go on. I'm going to be talking about several books. I'll mention the books in the video, and then I'll provide a resource for you to link up to all those books if you're interested in checking them out. But I'm going to give you some quotes from those books. So for example, from The Inner Voice of Trading: the feelings you don't want have as much power over you in your trading as the ones you do want. The feelings you're avoiding right now might be dying to become your allies. The emotional knowledge that you need to increase your sense of self-awareness is attainable. You just need to understand what and why you do the things you do. All feelings are good when they teach you about yourself. When you listen to what they teach you, your emotions are your allies, not your enemies. Emotions arise in trading. That's not going to change. So some of those emotions occur in pre-trading. They have to do with confidence levels, our expectations for the day or for trades coming up, our relationship with money, for example. All those occur in pre-trading before we even make a trade. Some of those emotions occur mid-decision, automatic responses to certain trading situations, such as holding a losing trade. How do you respond to that? What are the emotions surrounding that? And then some of those emotions occur as post-decision feelings. For example, how do you feel after you did what you did, even if you don't understand why you did what you did when you did it? So becoming aware of our various emotions at these various points in our trading is the first step to changing our results as traders, and thinking of it as pre-market, post-market, and mid-market kind of helps you see that there can be a whole variety of automatic responses, a whole variety of self-talk, of beliefs and biases that we hold at different stages of the trading day. So we start first by becoming aware of what's going on. I am aware of my physical state. Is my body relaxed or tense? I'm aware of my emotional state. Am I concerned or frustrated about something related to trading or not? I'm aware of my mental state. Am I approaching the market with openness and objectivity? Virtually all trading performance difficulties arise from either the inappropriate use of cognitive heuristics or emotion-driven behavior. Heuristics, just so you know, are the shorthands that our brain does, those automatic responses I've been talking about in the first video. That's heuristics kind of includes all that behavior. Knowing and understanding the mental blind spots is the first step toward dealing with them. Now, that's from a book that I'll mention here and show you the cover in just a second. But what we're going to be covering in this video are the tools and techniques, resources to help you stop the self-sabotage. And as you can see, we have a list of things I'm going to go through fairly quickly here. Okay, Trade Mindfully is the first book I'd recommend. This has to do with meditation and with mindfulness, but he also addresses a big section to heuristics and about the way our brains function and how those automatic responses don't necessarily serve us as traders. Mindfulness cultivates a mental space that can help us choose to expend the right effort rather than accept a beeline for a trading error. So some definitions there. Meditation can help us create calm in our lives. We can make better and more deliberative decisions when we are free from panic, free from fear. And meditation, the practice of meditation, whatever form you want to describe that as, can help you do that. Mindfulness helps keep our attention on what is. Sometimes in the trading chat rooms I'll talk about, especially in the afternoon session, I'll talk about focus on what is, not on what you expect to happen, but what is happening right now. Many trading errors occur because we panic and we become focused on past trades where we had a losing trade the trade before and we don't want to lose this one, let's say. And when we focus upon ourselves, our worries, and our feelings rather than the trade that's right in front of us. So we become diverted. Without mindfulness, we become diverted in our attention. We lose focus. We start focusing on our own fears and our panic rather than the trade that's in front of us, as I just said. Mindfulness can help you solve that problem. So observe two different mental states, if you will. One is flexible, adaptive, focused, thinks in terms of probabilities, has the willingness to be wrong. And the other one is rigid, determined, turns away from contrary evidence, thinks in terms of possibilities, not probabilities, and is stubborn. So which mental, emotional state do you think is going to produce the best decisions, trading decisions in those moments of crisis? Which state of mind do you think is going to produce the most profit for you in the long run? The other book I mentioned in the first video was Designing the Mind. Great book. And here's a quote. Undesirable emotions are bugs in your software. Each emotional category which causes you to feel or act against your values reveals a vulnerability in your psychological code. Every problem you have is a part of your software that hasn't been optimized. So the idea of that book here and the idea of those thoughts is that we can control those automatic responses, we can interrupt them and create new pathways for the brain. Those new pathways are more aligned with our values and what we value and what we want to accomplish as traders. Another book recommendation is The Tapping Solution. If you've never heard of tapping, that's third on the list here of things I would recommend, and I do recommend this book. Tapping's been around for a while. If you're not familiar with it, I encourage you to check it out. Key thoughts here are these. The brain's plasticity means that we can learn new things. We are responsible for our actions and our emotions. We can no longer use the excuses that begin with, oh, I'll never, or that's just the way I do things, or I can't help it. Not true, okay? We have responsibility for those automatic responses, but we have to listen, we have to pay attention to what they are so that we can then change them. We have the opportunity and the power to shape our lives rather than just being a pawn to our automated responses. Tapping, if you're not familiar with it, combines emotional and physical awareness with a method for redirecting our automatic responses into conscious choices that are more aligned with our goals and beliefs. Our bodies, and this is explained in the book, but our bodies have meridian points. You can think of Chinese acupuncture, for example, or energy channels. And these meridian points have endpoints at different parts of the body, for example, here, or up in here, for example, or below the eye. And this point can be manipulated using simple touch or acupressure to balance or unlock the energy flow through that particular meridian. So for example, when you get into a fright or flight kind of situation, your blood flows away from those meridian points. So by tapping, you can bring blood flow back into the brain. You can bring it back into where your energy is flowing correctly. And you can also zero in. Tapping has a very powerful way of just simply and quickly identifying emotions and then tapping and realizing what the repercussions of those things are, and digging deeper into the issues that might be beneath the surface there. Lou Tice, deceased now, but great book. I've actually still got cassette tapes back from when I took his training over 20 years ago. But recommend this book, Smart Talk. In this book, he's going to talk about affirmations, about self-talk, about visualization, and great stuff. Quotes from the book: "You move toward and become that which you think about. Your present thoughts determine your future. You will continue to act as you believe yourself to be. Goal setting is deliberately deciding what you're going to get used to in the future and then assimilating that standard into your mind." Examples of affirmations, if you've never heard of that: my body is relaxed, my mind is calm. I come to the market with a clear and objective attitude, having nothing to prove. I completely accept my responsibility in managing my trade account. Even my automatic responses are my responsibility. I am confident in my ability to make the right trading decisions and to quickly correct my errors. Those are some simple examples of affirmations that can be written on cue cards, index cards, and you can kind of repeat them to kind of get your body, your mind in the right framework for trading. And then I have a video recommendation, which is one of my own, which is why keep a trading journal. If you're going to do all this work, you're going to dig down deep, you're going to find what those automatic responses are, you're going to create scripts for yourself with affirmations, visualization, tapping, whatever it takes to help you turn the corner there. You want to put that in a trading journal, and you want to record those things so that you don't forget. Also, typing, creating charts, that sort of thing helps you remember all that stuff. So in this video, I've given you a whole bunch of different resources. You're not going to be able to read all that stuff at once, obviously, but those books that I've recommended here will get you, will come at that and will attack that problem of low self-esteem, that problem of automatic responses that no longer serve your values, the problem of how do you make behavioral changes quickly rather than taking years of therapy to do it, right? So I hope this video is helpful for you. Would appreciate any comments. Of course, appreciate you liking and subscribing to this channel. And if you have other resources that I haven't mentioned or other techniques that have worked for you, these are the ones that have worked for me, so I highly recommend them. And I've got a couple of videos here that you might want to check out at the end of this video. All right? Thanks for watching.